Coming up on Tech Tonight, Donald Trump holds a rally at Radford University.
And Blacksburg's Planned Parenthood will be closing their doors. Find out the details next.
Welcome to Tech Tonight. I'm Lexi Johnson.
And I'm Caitlin Murray.
On Monday, Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump came to the Radford area where he spoke at Radford University. Thousands of people went there to hear him speak. The rally held about 3,000 people inside, and there were about another 11,000 people waiting outside. The morning started off just as any typical rally. Trump opened with comments on his opponents, promised to build a wall on the U.S.-Mexico border, and ended by encouraging everyone to get out and vote. But things quickly turned for the worse. Students, community members, and supporters gathered in the street. Some even began to protest. In fact, the press traveling with Trump said that this was the most disruptive rally that they have ever seen. Throughout the rally, there were several interruptions in which Trump responded by making a mockery of them. One protester addressed Trump's remarks on illegal immigration, and in return, Trump said, quote, "Are you from Mexico?" end quote, and then proceeded to throw them out. Another woman was asked, quote, did she have a problem, and was also thrown out. However, the real commotion was outside, where several protesters were shouting, quote, "Black Lives Matter," end quote. Several other protesters in the rally were also removed from shouting, "Black Lives Matter." On another note, Trump also addressed issues regarding student debt, his stance on college students, and the rising cost of tuition. He said, quote, he wants to help out students and get the cost of colleges down.
The Blacksburg location of Planned Parenthood announced last week that they plan to close their doors after more than 30 years of operation. According to Senior Vice President of External Affairs, Planned Parenthood South Atlantic, Paige Johnson, quote, the world of healthcare delivery in Blacksburg and the larger New River Valley has changed dramatically. Virginia Tech has expanded their student services to include many reproductive health services, and the Community Health Center of the New River Valley offers comprehensive health care, including women's health services at no or low cost, end quote. The Blacksburg office of Planned Parenthood is referring their patients to their Roanoke location and to the Community Health Care Center of the New River Valley. According to Janet Harrer, Women's Clinic Coordinator and Adult Practitioner at Schifferett Health Center, since the availability for birth control has increased dramatically, pregnancies and the need for abortion services has decreased as a result. While Schifferett does not offer abortion services, they do offer a wide variety of other women's health services, including STI testing, annual gynecology exams, and providing contraceptives. Over the next 2 years, Schifferett plans to expand their women's center, according to Harrer. Schifferett is not expecting an increase in patients, and Planned Parenthood claims that they will continue to provide Blacksburg and the surrounding River Valley community with sex education.
Members and leaders from all of the major student media organizations are coming together for a panel. Claire Rigney has more on the story.
Claire Rigney from Tech Tonight reporting from Newman Library, where Wednesday of this week, student media representatives gathered to discuss the current issues facing their organizations on Virginia Tech's campus.
Collaboration, I think, will produce the best sort of journalism that's most likely to be read, most likely to be wanted, because we have the student voice, and we're not going to tell it in just one way.
The student media panel brought together managers and editors from 8 campus media organizations in order to discuss the state of student media at Virginia Tech. Representatives came from the Collegiate Times, WUVT, Philologia, The Interloper, The Black Sheep, The Engineers Forum, and The Pylon. The Pylon, a media outlet that began normal publication this week, sponsored the event. Andrew Kulak is an editor-at-large and co-founder of The Pylon, along with Erica Corder.
As a student media, we don't really talk to each other a lot very often. In EMCVT, I think it's more common to have sort of cross-publication communication, but even then it doesn't always really happen, and there's situations where, one station or one publication or whatever is doing something, another one is doing something that's pretty similar and that they could probably collaborate and get together and work together on, but the communication just isn't necessarily there.
Organization leaders at the panel discussed what the student media at Virginia Tech could improve upon, bringing up things like collaborations and lack of diversity representation.
So I think really developing small media outlets is important for communities, and I think in a lot of cases, student media outlets are those outlets. I think there's a lot of small towns around here where it's not profitable to have a newspaper, so their local media becomes media that's offered by the college. I think we could get more publications out there. I think we could have more support for publications that are addressing a wide variety of audiences, And I also think that for existing more general student media outlets, there's room for additional voices on editorial boards there, on staffs there as well.
Reporting from Newman Library, I'm Claire Rigney. Back to you.
Virginia Tech never ceases to amaze. The Virginia-Maryland College of Veterinary Medicine at Virginia Tech holds the second largest pool of applicants amongst other veterinary schools in North America for the second year in a row. The college has received over 1,400 applications and has interviewed just 306 potential candidates to fill 120 seats. Only the top students get selected for an interview. The interview process is very intense, in which candidates go through a series of rooms being interviewed and evaluated on critical thinking, communication, individual and team management, entrepreneurship, and moral and ethical decision making. Candidates are interviewed by faculty, current students, alumni, and private practitioners. The college also has plans to implement a new curriculum in the coming years in which students are involved in more hands-on clinical experiences. Throughout the interview weekend, candidates and their parents had the opportunity to tour the college and its veterinary teaching hospital. In addition, they held a dinner for the candidates the night before the interview. For the class of 2020, 50 students will be from Virginia, 30 from Maryland, 6 from West Virginia, and the remainder will be elsewhere. Best wishes to all the candidates.
Let's take a moment for our weekend forecast with Chapin Kofod.
Hi, I'm Chapin Kofod with your weekend weather report. The week that started off beautiful and then flipped and got cloudy and cold has come to an end just in time to run off south for spring break. If you are staying in Blacksburg for the weekend, it doesn't look to be as refreshing as the last. As the low that has been affecting our area this week moves off the coast, the weather looks to calm down a bit. There is still a chance of rain or snow this weekend, but not enough to cause any trouble. Though the temperatures won't be high enough to rock your sweet new swim trunks, they are going to be slightly above average for this time of year. Friday is going to be cloudy with highs in the low 40s, and then Saturday we may see some rain with temperatures being in the upper 40s. With Sunday being mostly sunny, we are expecting the high temperature to be around 50. As most of you are off to sunnier, warmer places, don't forget your sunscreen, as Blacksburg hasn't been your ideal place to get your pre-spring break tan. You don't want to be the kid with crucial sunglass burn lines or look like a human tomato. Many of the spring break destinations look to be in upper 70s and sunny, so enjoy the break from school and don't relax too much. Back to you, Caitlin.
Thank you, Chapin. A Roanoke County Fire EMS lieutenant was arrested last week and charged with a felony count of forcible sodomy of a minor in Botetourt County. U.S. Marshals arrested 46-year-old David Allen Bocock Jr. in his Roanoke County home on February 23rd. Following his arrest on February 24th, he submitted his resignation papers. According to court records, the actual incident for which he's charged happened sometime in 2012. Bocock has worked for the Roanoke Fire EMS Department for 25 years. In addition to serving as lieutenant, Bocock also occasionally served as a substitute teacher for Botetourt County Public Schools. According to records, Bocock was a substitute one day at Botetourt High School. After hearing words of Bocock's arrest, the school system removed him from the substitute list. Bocock is currently held in the Botetourt County Jail without bond, awaiting a possible appeal. Stay tuned for your entertainment news.
Hi, I'm Claire Rigney.
And I'm Bailey Berticelli with your entertainment news.
A new campus campaign aims to decrease the number of accidents caused by distracted travelers. Heads Up Hokies is a campaign sponsored by the Office of Alternative Transportation. According to Virginia Tech News, the office hopes that the new campaign will decrease the number of traffic accidents and collisions caused by people traveling across campus while not paying attention to their surroundings. They want to address the dangers of texting, improper signaling, and unpredictable behavior of people traversing campus on foot, bike, by bus, or by car. Stickers are available at the Alternative Transportation Center, and the office encourages people to share the campaign over social media.
A good way to unwind after studying for all these before spring break exams might be to enjoy some beautiful artwork. Today, March 4th, the Ordinary Insights art exhibit opened in Squires at the Perspective Gallery. The exhibit will be open to the public until May 14th. So if you get the urge to connect with your inner artist or just want to take a break, the Perspective Gallery is a great place to go. According to the Virginia Tech Student Center, the exhibit features the work of 3 faculty members from Naropa University School of the Arts in Boulder, Colorado: Sue Hammond West, Marlo Brooks, and Robert Spellman. These artists were introduced to Virginia Tech professor Douglas Lindner when he was visiting Naropa last year. Naropa University has become known for its contemplative education techniques, or as Naropa explains it, quote, meditative practices that train the attention, unquote. There is a deep connection to Buddhism, Hinduism, and Taoism incorporated. The artists showcase this with their work as it focuses on their personal meditation practices and the connection to place and time. The reception for the exhibit will take place on Tuesday, March 15th from 5 to 7 p.m.
A new art exhibit showcased in Norris Hall starting this week. Within Without, a photography collection by Matthew Howard, will decorate the walls of Norris until the end of the season. A reception held yesterday allowed members of the community to meet Howard and ask about his urbanization-themed work. The photography is free and open for public viewing anytime between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Howard's project is an ongoing one slated for completion later this year.
Tonight at 7:30 p.m., the Roanoke Symphony Orchestra will be performing in the Moss Art Center. The event will be $10 for the students that bring their Hokie passports. The orchestra features violinist Akemi Takayama, who will be performing Barber's Violin Concert and Tchaikovsky's Magnificent Symphony No. 4 in F major, among other songs. Just like songs today, classical songs are known to tell stories. Many of these stories portray feelings that their composers were feeling at the time that they were created. On Virginia Tech's Center for the Arts website, you can find the program notes for the performance to read up on what pieces will be played, the meaning behind them, and a little bit about the composer. Another enticing fact might be studies that reveal the benefits from listening to classical music. According to USC News, classical music assists with bettering the brain, sleeping patterns, the immune system, and stress levels. A trip to the orchestra could be your healthy resolution to college. Stay tuned for your sports news.
Hi, I'm Brianna McGowan.
And I'm Lexi Johnson with your sports news.
The Virginia Tech Department of Athletics has decided to hold an online auction as a fundraising effort for the women's sports teams. The auction is now open and will continue until April. Items up for grabs includes tickets to games, a trip to Puerto Rico with the volleyball team, and lunch with some of Virginia Tech's finest. You might even snag the title of honorary coach for the day. Make sure to continue refreshing the auction page because new items will continue to appear and you do not want to miss out on these exclusive experiences. Virginia Tech is also showing our support for women's teams through a celebration of Women's Sports Luncheon. The theme of She Is celebrates all that women are and can be as a result of college athletics. Throughout the luncheon, the Department of Athletics hopes to shed light on the important players of Virginia Tech sports. Athletics are a very important part of Virginia Tech campus life. Expenses for travel and gear are extremely expensive, so the team hopes that they will be able to raise money to cover these costs. This is an important opportunity to show women's athletics how much we truly care about them. Hop online and buy some of these great items, helping out the team that represent Virginia Tech.
The Virginia Tech Athletics Department announced special dates for the 2016 football season. The White Effect game will be our military appreciation game against Boston College on September 17th. Following that game, the homecoming game against East Carolina is on September 24th and will also be the Orange Effect game. And lastly, Hokie fans are expected to wear maroon for the Maroon Effect game against Miami on October 20th. You can purchase shirts for all three Effect games on April 23rd at the Maroon Orange Spring game or at any university bookstore after April 23rd. Fans who haven't renewed their season tickets for the next season can do so through March 14th online on HokieTickets.com. Information to purchase season tickets will be announced after the renewal window closes. The upcoming football season will be exciting, and Hokies will play UVA, Liberty, and Georgia Tech at Lane Stadium this year. Don't miss out on your chance on renewing or purchasing season tickets.
The Virginia Tech basketball team traveled to Winston-Salem, North Carolina for a game against Wake Forest that ended in a victory for the Hokies. The final score of the game was 81-74. This was great timing for the 2016 ACC tournament. With the win, the team has earned a first-round bye. With the third consecutive conference win, the basketball team is now 16-13 in the season. Going into intermission, Wake Forest was only down 1 point with the score at 37-36. However, Virginia Tech held their own by maintaining a pretty solid lead for the rest of the game. Hokie Justin Bibbs was the MVP of the night, scoring 22 of Virginia Tech's points for the night. Following this impressive performance, Zach Leday contributed 17 points and 8 rebounds. Teammates Justin Robinson and Seth Allen added 14 points each to the Virginia Tech score. This game was the Hokies' second win away of the week, marking the team's first consecutive road win since 2009. We have high hopes for the basketball team while they wrap up this regular season.
Virginia Tech men's soccer coach Mike Brizadine has recently announced the Hokie spring schedule that features 3 state foes and a trip to Costa Rica. The Hokies will play against Wake Forest, William & Mary, James Madison, Marshall, Liberty, and East Tennessee State. Tech will finish the spring season with a 12-day training trip in Costa Rica. The season will start off on March 19th at 7 p.m. against Wake Forest. On April 2nd, the Hokies will face William & Mary, and the following weekend on April 9th, the Hokies will go against James Madison and Marshall at the Greenbrier Sports Performance Center in West Virginia. For more updates on Virginia Tech men's soccer, go follow the Hokies on Twitter at VT_MSoccer. So good to know that there's going to be some great weather for spring break. How are you feeling about it?
Well, Chapin gave us some great news, so I'm so excited. I'm going to Florida, so what about you?
I'm supposed to be in Miami too, so I'm really excited. I have some big plans. To lay out on the beach, get some sun, also to get some good seafood.
Yeah, I know you'll have some great weather, and yeah, I'm hoping for some good weather also. I definitely want to hit the beach and eat some good food, maybe
Absolutely.
check out some of the outlets.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's all for Tech Tonight. I'm Lexi Johnson.
And I'm Brianna McGowan. That's all for Tech Tonight. I'm Brianna McGowan.
And I'm Lexi Johnson. Stay tuned for next week.